matchup for you here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Las Vegas Raiders. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25.
Here we go.
Now a man born here in California, Joe Mixon. And he's got some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Wow, first play in the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He gets this to Devontae Adams. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their
trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Follow up a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Carr. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs. drives the rest of the ball game.
A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back, and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw here on target to Hurst. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
On second down, here's Mixon. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On one, ready?
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. McPherson's kick is good. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. 23 yards on the play.
These guys certainly need something good to go their way, because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. First carry for Josh Jacobs. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played. Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Carr. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 88 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage was so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
On one, ready?
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. They're making a real first quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
7 yards there and a first down.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Burrow will throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Credit the sack there to Chandler Jones. 17-0 our score after 1.
A 45-yard attempt. That's the end of the first quarter. The score, 17. Raiders nothing.
And the first play will be a field goal try. He made his first attempt, this from 45. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides to be thrilled with that.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
On one, ready?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Once again, they run with Mixon. 112 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mixon on the toss right. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And the safety, Trayvon Merrick, up to make the play defensively. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Here we go. 11.
On second down, Burrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On 1st down, Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr delivering another one here to Darren Waller. He's got it again. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 43. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's a gain of 34.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Here's Jacobs. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Here's Carr to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They were held out last time. Here now is 3rd and goal from the 1. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Raiders are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead's down to 2 scores now at 16. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
On two, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one is...
Now Burrow loses the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
The slant connects with Davante Adams. Touchdown, Raiders! Davante Adams, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders get a bit closer. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that trims the lead down to 9. The Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
I'm wondering.
The Bengals drive about to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A good gain on 1st. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half. And Burrow going to throw again. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they're in a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Play action. It's Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 35. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. His throw incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Throw left side complete to Chase. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaunt, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
On second down, Jacobs. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
One down.
On play action, it's Carr. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead. And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got Hurst, his tight end, finding room at midfield. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Again, that's Hurst. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Hayden Hurst, 40 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that will make this a 19-point game.
33, Raiders 14. Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. There he goes, left side. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. 87 yards, the official distance on the kickoff return. And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bengals drive about to get going. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Finding space at the 40. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Mixing up the middle. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 125 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Well, I think the hope is, you know, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 19. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Burrow looking to pass. He gets this one to Boyd. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down. Evan McPherson out for the Bengal field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
On 2nd and 7, Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 5.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. To throw his Carr. And it's complete to Adams. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A great pickup there, 35 yards. And obviously the first down to go along with it.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Carr to throw again. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Bengals are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bengals are going to have great field position here. Just shy of midfield.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll go again to Jones. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
They'll go right back to Evans here on 1st down.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And they will take a knee here.
Ready?
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Gotta go.
They'll try and run for it with Evans. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right?